explosive play.
On 1st and goal, Notre Dame will try to get it in the end zone. They'll try to get it in with the run. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
And that play shows you really what this defense is about. It's a difficult one to attack. They're really good. One of the best in the country. They come at you from all angles. So I'm interested to watch. How do you mix up the play calling? How do you keep the defense off balance? Because they are a good one.
These fans raising the volume on 2nd and goal. He'll run it to the right, looking for the goal line. He's got it down to the 1-yard line, right on the doorstep of Pater.
Well, he gets tackled down at the 1-yard line, so offensively, do you feel confident enough on 3rd here trying to hand it off?
Yeah, and I'm taking both these downs, and I'm coming down.
The Sneak scores it.
How about that first drive by the offense? Usually script the first 10 plays. Well, I had one extra. It only took 9. Great job moving down the field, stringing plays that look like other plays together, and getting this opening drive touchdown.
And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. They go 83 yards on the drive, and they finish the deal with the quarterback sneak. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. Bringing it out. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. To the air. It's Manning. Pocket breaking down. Hit hard just as he released it on 1st down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
He didn't have a whole lot of time to get rid of that one. The defense was all over him right after the snap. No wonder that thing fell incomplete.
And back to the air on 2nd down. Just a short pass to the tight end. Turning it on. How about this freshman leading him on the chase and making the big play after the catch?
It's amazing in college football, the tight end position and how much has changed. Back in the day, you're a blocking guy, maybe you catch a flat route. Today, these guys have athleticism, and you just saw it from that dude after the catch on that last one.
To the air on 1st down. Got a man, it's Brown. Now they're starting to feel it. They've got a 1st down at the 44.
Well, it's a nice play design there. You're getting the running back involved in the pass game. Quarterback gives it to him early so he can go to work upfield and get the 1st down.
From the 44-yard line, the offense snaps it on 1st down. Looking to throw on 1st down. Takes a shot as he lets it go. It's incomplete, and he's lucky to get that one back. Almost intercepted.
And I think on that last play, that's an example of the quarterback trying to predetermine who he wants to throw to, and instead of letting the defense dictate who gets the ball. Man coverage, that guy was not open that time out on the perimeter of the field. Still, he gave him a chance, but that thing had incompletion written all over it from the moment the ball left his hand.
Burnt Orange burning some secondaries, working this guy down the field.
Yeah, making those big plays down the field. Texas, when you think about great teams, you think about explosive playmakers, making those big plays, keeping those defenses on their heels.
Ball spotted at the 27. It's 1st and 10. Dropping back, it's Manning. Fires to the tight end. And they give him enough for the 1st down. They'll move the chains, and let's see if they can snap it one more time here in the 1st. We've come to the end of the period, and Notre Dame has the lead. Guys, let's have a look at the stats as we've played one period. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game in the 2nd quarter. They'd love to start this quarter off with a touchdown right here. He'll set up to throw. Fires into the end zone. Oh, what a play. It's intercepted.
And some defensive backs just have a way of finding the football, and he's starting to develop that. His third interception on the season, just has a good feel for playing that spot in the back end.
Here come the Irish, back on offense. They took advantage of outstanding field position the last time they had it, and now they'll have a little more work to do to get on the board. Leaves it with the running back. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, there's a statement by the defensive line. First down play, expecting run, and they just dominated up front. Beat their one-on-ones and forced a tackle for a loss.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Bring in the heat. Snagged in the middle. It's Flanagan. Stopped at about the 25-yard line, but it'll be a first down. Here come the Irish again, this time doing it through the air.
And getting a little balance, right? We talked about how they like to be physical and they like to run the football. But when you get that balance going, man, it makes it easy to call plays, start to settle in, everything looking good on offense.
Here's a heat. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Man, not much wiggle room for the ball carrier there.
Not really sure what they can do to try to create some space.
I know. Block better. How about the offensive lineman push some guy backwards and make some holes?
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Motion from the back. Looking for a man. It's Carr. Makes the grab. And he was able to run through one tackle, but still only a modest gain.
Wow, the quarterback knew he had to get that one to his receiver quickly on the in route. Did you see the velocity on that throw?
Horns up and ready to hook them. Serious noise on 3rd down in DKR. From the gun, wants to pass. Starting to feel a little pressure. Makes the catch. It's James. They'll make the stop about a yard short of the first down. We're counting on making a few yards after the catch on 3rd down. Instead, they're staring at 4th.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times you trust your guy. You throw it to him and you say, I can make somebody miss or lower my shoulder and get to the sticks. The defense had none of that. Nice job tackling. Nice job forcing the 4th down.
On 4th down, they'll pass for it. And they can't connect, and the gamble does not work out.
And first half being that aggressive on your side of the field, that's a different world. Like, you live in the analytics world, and I know people say go for it more often. I don't see the point in going for it on that one early in the game in that situation.
Makes the catch. It's Terry. Rustled out of bounds. They'll mark him at the 7-yard line, and this offense is more than threatening. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. The Longhorns have it in scoring position on 1st and goal. Quarterback run is part of their game plan. And he'll finish the run in the end zone. Touchdown, Texans!
The defense knew coming into this game they were going to have their hands full. Not only did they have to worry about these running backs in the running game, they had to worry about the quarterback as well. On design runs and on scrambles, they didn't have an answer for him right there.
They're set to kick it off, and this crowd now ready to get behind them. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. No reason to be in a big rush. They have some time here late in the half. Looking downfield, it's Carr. Fires to the middle. Finds the big tight end. They've got him down at the 40 after he ripped off 15 yards. When a defense is in zone coverage, Jesse, they want to react. How do you react to a howitzer coming out like that one?
Not much you can do because this guy's got a cannon. You saw all the eyeballs on defense on that play. They were waiting and anticipating that throw, but when you've got an arm like that, it's going to be tough to stop that throw.
And those body blows really, really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle them, wear them out. Sometimes these 3 to 4 yard runs, later in football games, they turn into 5 to 15 to 20-yard gains just because of the body blow effect.
Complete. Found enough room to get it into enemy territory. They're down at the 43-yard line. The clock winds down to 2 minutes, and we will take a pause for the 2-minute timeout. Notre Dame coming to the line with another first down. DB's locked up tight on the receivers. Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Looking to throw on first down. Shoots it to the left. Beautifully thrown ball. Terrific catch, and they'll have the first down.
You know, football really is a game similar to chess, and there's this cat and mouse game going on between the offensive and defensive coordinators right now. It'll be interesting to see later in the game if the offensive coordinator shows the defense the exact same pre-snap look. The defense will be thinking they're going the corner route, but then this time the receiver will break to the middle of the field, might catch the defense completely off guard.
It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Wants to throw it. Finds his man. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal. The play action fake. Spits it out to the back. And the third down pass is knocked away by the D.
And last week was great for this young man, but man, again, showing you he can do it at a high level, just working the whole field, using different guys. He is absolutely on fire right now.
Off the RPO, throw right, looking for the chains. Defense is there to make the stop, but he's got the first down, and they'll have it first and goal at the 6.
And they must have had a play in practice that they just felt was unstoppable because they essentially just took away an automatic chip shot field goal to go for that fourth down. But because of the execution, it was just too good. They're looking now to score 6.
A first down run in the red zone. And he was fortunate to get that one back to the line of scrimmage at the 5. No gain on the play. The defense going to stop the clock with the timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. They'll try to dial up a better one this time on second and goal from the 5. Back to throw, it's Carr. Floating away. He wants it all. It's incomplete. He was shooting for the end zone right there.
Man, they could have flipped that field in a hurry, right? They've given up some yards. They're sitting in their own red zone. A chance to make a big play. Yeah, he could have made that interception and could have flipped this field.
Third and goal, and let's see if they can even operate in this noise. The toss to the right.
Man, if I'm quarterback right now, after this long of a drive down this close, I'm going for a touchdown here.
And I get that, but I've worn this defense out, man. I'm going to go for the touchdown right here. And if I miss, they got to go the whole length of the field to score a touchdown.
Fourth and goal from the 5. The offense is still out there. This epitomizes confidence. Wants to go up top. As he throws, that ball never had a chance, and they'll turn it over on downs.
And aggressive play calls. Everybody wants you to be aggressive. They're aggressive. They take their shot. Now they got to live with a little bit of the consequences. They turn the football over on downs. Now their defense has to go out on the field and make some stops.
Caught in the backfield, it's Terry. Quick throw, but he's not going anywhere. The defense was all over him.
And nice job by the defense staying glued to him, getting him on the ground. As soon as he catches the football, knowing he's a threat, I'm not going to let this guy get out of my sights. Nice job by the D.
And the Longhorns trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. The run to the left. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough. But how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
They'll run play action. Oh, he's going to take a shot at the DB. Underneath toasted coverage. Got it deep downfield. Oh, he's getting ahead of steam. Just making a huge play, and he sets him up all the way down at the 14.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on third down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that football. All week long, they decided on the biggest downs of this game, we're going to target our best player, and we're going to make sure that he gets looks. It doesn't matter what the coverage is. You saw it right there on that.
Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. Quarterback will keep it. And this offense hoped to just run it in, and the defense was having none of it. No gain. Ball remains at the 2. To the air, it's Manning. Fires to the end zone. Touchdown, Longhorns! Fit it in the window for the score.
The gamble pays off on offense. I know there are a lot of coaches out there that would just kick that field goal in the final play of the first half. Instead, they decide to throw it. And when you've seen these 2 guys hook up as many times as they have in the past, why not just do it? We're in the end zone on the short throw, and they've got the lead going into halftime.
That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update. Ready to go here in the second half, and Notre Dame will kick it away. He'll start the return inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Here comes the Texas offense. They got plenty done through the air in the first half, and we'll see if they even need to look for balance as we start the third quarter.
Well, and I think defensively, you understand, like the running game isn't a big part of the plan. I wonder how they adjust and play more coverage to this pass-happy offense.
Yeah, so you're going to have to be ready if you're a quarterback then. You're probably going to see some different coverages. You might see a little bit more blitz in the second half as well, so you have to know where your answers are.
Back open in the middle. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few.
Yeah, and you see running backs in today's football, they play wide receiver basically for you, but you got to find a guy that you can throw it to, and you know he's going to catch the ball consistently.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. He turns that loose down the right side. Breaks into the open. And that tackle almost certainly saved the touchdown after he ripped off a huge gain.
And a big reason why this team has the lead in this game is because of plays like that. They know they've got firepower throwing the ball. They've got the dudes outside that can make things happen. You saw it in the first half, and you see it here again early in the third quarter.
And he fired a bullet in, but it's incomplete.
I don't know if the quarterback read the coverage properly on that one, but obviously the result is an incompletion.
They're dealing with a 2nd and long. He wants to change this route. Back to pass, it's Manning. Got the back over the middle. They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down.
You know, it's a nice throw by the QB there. When you're throwing at running backs, you got to make it easy on them. So you want to put it right on their body, make the catch simple, and let them go to work like they did just there, getting that first.
A design run for the quarterback. He's brought down at the 6, but the defense feeling the heat to make a stop here.
You know, I really like this QB running the football because I know he's got a lot of speed, but he's not the biggest guy in the world. So he's not going to be able to break a lot of tackles. You really got to do a good job.
And they will score! Touchdown, Texans! Offense gets the job done again. You want to build that cushion as we get deeper into the second half.
Man, it makes it easy, doesn't it? You start getting up by a couple possessions, making the offense very predictable on the other side. Great job by the offense extending their lead.
Fielded in the end zone, it's Perez. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point in the game, I feel like offensively, you should go back to what's been working for you in this game. Don't be afraid to dial up plays that you've already had success with, running it and throwing it. It's okay to repeat plays down 14 at this point.
And I would also say, Palmer, kind of understanding that my defense is not playing great, so I know offensively I got to put some good possessions together here, make something happen on this side of the football.
Here's the handoff. He's brought down at the 29 after a 10-yard gain.
Well, he was able to gash him on that play. You just give this guy 1 inch, one little crease, he puts his foot in the ground, and he gets north fast.
They'll start this one from the 29 on first down. Dropping back, it's Carr. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down. Second down coming.
This offense hasn't been able to generate a lot of points in this one. Here in the third quarter, you're seeing the defense and how much pride they take on being physical. It's not just stopping the run. Guys in the back end flying to the football in the air, getting hits on guys, that time on the receiver, knocking it loose.
Defense closed down quickly after a gain of 3. They'll mark it at the 32.
Another tough run for this offense, and I think a big reason why they're down on the scoreboard right now is they just haven't been able to get this guy going. They've tried to give him the ball a lot. It just hasn't paid off, but you get the feeling, too, if they are going to crawl back in this one, they need him to break one off, and it just takes one play for this guy. Don't be impatient. You got to keep giving him the football.
Man, if I'm a defense, I got to find a way to get some more pressure on the quarterback or disrupt their timing and their rhythm. I can't give them these big chunk plays through the air. I got to be maybe a little bit more aggressive or do something a little bit different.
This Notre Dame offense carving it up. They're working with another first down. Good hands in there by the defense to force the incompletion. These Longhorn corners really active with their hands, anticipating well and swatting the ball away.
And not all quarterbacks can do that, but great job seeing the ball in the air, going up, attacking the football, and swatting it away, making sure that that receiver can't get to the football.
Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. From the gun, wants to pass. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
And we need more of this from this defense, man. They have let this guy have too much time to throw the football. They haven't gotten that jersey dirty yet, haven't sacked him. But this is just as good as a sack. Getting to him, hitting him, letting him feel the physicality of this game, and not letting him feel comfortable.
A famous writer once said, most men lead lives of quiet desperation. Here is a desperate move, going for it on fourth down, trailing by double figures. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Intercepted, number 19. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back. Trying the left side. Found a little space, and he's got 4 to the 35.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive.
Oh, he's going to try to get it all here. He's got it inside the 25. Touchdown, Longhorn! And once he got away from the knee, they had no shot at catching him. They want to finish the season strong, and man, are they doing that here in this Week 11 performance. Texas fighting them through the air and on the ground, reminiscent of Colt McCoy's big day against A&M in 2009.
Yeah, just doing whatever they want. And this is a good spot to be. Listen, Texas gets a highly recruited kid at quarterback every single year. Can this be the guy that takes them to the next level? Today is a good day.
Drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. Picked off again. He's now thrown 20 interceptions.
Coming out of the tunnel in the third quarter, this quarterback now is really struggling with his decision-making. 2 picks here in the third quarter. This looks like Jekyll and Hyde from what we saw in the first half.
Well, and the bad thing is they're going to be in passing situations. They're coming from behind. They're going to need...
Going to take a shot. Picked off inside the 20, and they snuff out the threat. Going the other way, and he's got room.
And that's going to be a tough throw for the quarterback to make, right? He's right-handed, he's rolling to his left, and that throw is going way down the field. So he's not going to be able to get all the velocity he wants. And he didn't have the accuracy either, and that's a bad combination, and that's a big part of why that ball was intercepted.
Looking for room, it's Payne. They'll pick up 4, 2nd and 6 coming.
Well, not a great run there, but I think what the coaching staff is trying to do is they're trying to help out their quarterback. He's thrown interceptions on each of his last 2 drives. So the best way to try to settle him down is to get the running game established. But I think the defense is aware of that right now, loading the box. Everybody up front is ready for the run.
They're down to the 35 on 1st and 10. Oh, they're after him. Complete to the right. They make the stop, and he'll have enough yardage for a first down. Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. To throw, it's Carr. Throws to the wideout. Pulls it in. There to make the tackle, and with that, will head the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. As we start the 4th quarter, it'll take a pretty sizable comeback to win this one. And a chance to mull things over, and let's see how they start the final piece. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
It's an offense that takes pride in being physical. They try to get it going on the ground, but no gain on that.
Just nowhere to run, not a lot of wiggle room for the ball carrier.
This defense came in knowing that they had to match their physics.
They'll go to the air on 3rd and short. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up.
And we've seen a lot of that from this offense, unfortunately. Just quarterback and wide receivers just not in sync. And sometimes it happens and they get out of sync and they don't make big plays. But, man, you're in a huge deficit. You need big plays down the field, so somebody's got to make a play for their quarterback.
Down by multiple possessions. You can't come up empty on this drive. They'll go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Couldn't find his man, and they'll give up the football on downs.
I think that play right there has been a big theme in this game. When it matters the most, on big-time down and distances, this defense has been able to step up and make the play when they need it most. That fourth down, great job in the back end in coverage, forcing the incompletion with a big lead now, creating a turnover on downs.
Incomplete. Man, oh man, is that one this junior would love to have back.
I'm a little bit surprised they're still throwing the football here this late in the game with this kind of lead. They're on first down, taking a shot, falls incomplete, but obviously they're still seeing matchups that they want to take advantage of in the back end of this defense, so they're letting it fly.
Fired just a little too long as the junior frustrated he missed that connection.
And you see those balls in practice sometimes. They're just off the mark, and you don't know how to control it. You don't know what goes wrong, but sometimes QBs miss, and it's an incompletion.
Called his own number. He did not make it a stone wall on third down.
The whole point of running the quarterback on these designed runs is to get an extra blocker. You should be getting more movement up front, but that time, guys were getting knocked backwards, and as a result, they actually lost a yard.
Excellent coverage that time. Didn't give him any room to set up a big return. Here come the Irish, back on offense. They've got it back after that last drive stalled out, and they were stopped on fourth down. They fires toward the end zone. And swatted down by the defense to stop the scoring opportunity.
One of the biggest reasons today why this offense is losing in the game is they haven't been able to get it going throwing the football. This guy still has not thrown a touchdown pass. They thought coming into this game they were going to have tons of success throwing it. But you got to give the defense credit. They watched the film. They've been mixing up their looks defensively, trying to confuse this quarterback, and again, on that last deep shot, it falls incomplete.
A huge chunk play as he gets it all the way down to the 11.
The offense has struggled. They're not going to win this game, but trust me, this coaching staff is still trying to find things to build off of for next week. And after an explosive play like that, maybe they can generate just a little bit of...
Ball into the end zone, and it's intercepted.
And as a defensive lineman late in the game, man, when you know it's passion, you're pinning your ears back, trying to get to the quarterback, and DBs are trying to do this. Pad them stats, get the INT. Nice job by this D.
Off the play fake on first down to throw. That's reeled in, it's Brown. And this one will be stopped for no gain. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. Working well behind the sticks on second down. Off the play fake. He fires one deep down the right side. Falls in the deep ball. And I wasn't sure they were going to be able to catch him. They finally did, but they gave up a huge play.
Well, I love play callers that want to stay aggressive, regardless of what the score is, regardless how much time is left on the clock. And I promise you this, there are a lot of fans, there are a lot of teams all across college football that are paying attention to what is happening right.
Oh, he's got some space. Nice pickup on the ground there. They'll move the sticks with the first down.
Well, obviously the offense went 3 and out on their last drive. They're having a little bit more success here. That was a nice run, and I think that's the key, guys. If they're able to run the football, they're going to be able to stay on the field. And I think that's something you want to think more about if you're the play caller on offense.
Defense there to stop him after he picked up a yard. Ball's at the 17. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Quarterback adjusting the pattern. Now the play fake. Now adjusting. Lets it go to the end zone. Good route on the comeback, and he makes the catch. And they'll get him down inside the 5, and this offense powering toward a score. The Longhorns trying to cash it in on 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. He works his way ever closer all the way down to the 1-yard line.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the ground.
And this defense is defending its goal line. Back-to-back stops right in the shadow of their own goalpost. After getting stuffed, what do they have for an answer here on 3rd and goal from the 2? Try and play action. The officials stop the clock for the 2-minute timeout, and the offense is that much closer to victory. They've already put this game in a hammerlock, and now they'll go for the submission hold on 4th and goal. Caught in the backfield. It's Wingo. Goes out of bounds just short of the goal line, and they'll be set up and in great position here. Desperately wanted to keep the ball, but they did not. The short hands. It's Payne. It's a fumble on the play. Defense grabs the football, and there he goes. Touchdown, Texas! This defense making a big play and putting it in the end zone. That'll give them a little more breathing room as they try to push this winning streak to 5. Might have to give that coach a flag and a whistle. He was right on in his view of the play, and the officials agree and overturn the call. First and 10 from their own 13. Wants to throw. It's Carr. Missed receiver there. It's incomplete.
Well, at this point, you're still trying to throw stuff up against the blackboard and see if it sticks. You're down by a lot of points, so why not try it, right? And give the offense credit. You know, you're not just going to run the football. You're not just going to take a knee and go into the locker room with your tail between your legs. I like the fighting spirit, just not enough of that today.
The throw to the outside is complete. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. They'll try to get it through the air. Catch in the middle, it's Williams. He'll make a play on 3rd down. He's got enough for the first as they mark it at the 32. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Wants to throw on 1st down. Looking deep. And the defense forced that incompletion with the deflection.
And it's just been that kind of day for this quarterback and this offense, guys. They have never been able to get into a rhythm throwing the football. Timing's been off. Accuracy hasn't been great. We've seen some drops. Just not in sync. And that's why they find themselves trailing by a lot right here late in the game.
And that's kind of what we've seen from this offense all game long, man. It's been hard. It's been a struggle, and receiver and quarterback just not on the same page. Somebody out wide needs to step up, needs to make some plays for their QB because they're in a huge hole, and they need some explosive passing plays.
And they'll stop him about 5 yards short of the first. On 4th down, going to the air. Got it on the outside. It's Barres. He steps out of bounds, but he's got a 1st down on the play.
Hey, you know, the defense here in this situation with a huge lead, they've got to anticipate that this offense is going to be trying to throw the ball to the sideline, so they've got to work different coverages to try to force the quarterback to go over the middle of the field with the football.
Pulls it in. It's Williams. Oh, what a big play for this offense as they get it to the 33-yard line.
This quarterback has been really good today. Has been on top of it, seeing things really, really well. That pass right there put him over the 300-yard mark. That's a pretty good day.
Notre Dame ready to go with another 1st down. Under fire. Strong pass rush gets to the quarterback, and they get him at the 46. Everybody has to be set. They have to get it off. Dropping back, it's Carr. Pressure coming. Trying to burn this defensive back. Just about had another one picked off. They've already thrown 3 in this game. They're lucky it wasn't 4 there.
And that's that's just the kind of game it's been for this quarterback in this offense. You got a great game plan all week long. You're watching it throughout practice. You think you're going to have a chance to light up the scoreboard, but they're just not able to hook up. You got to give this defense a ton of credit. They've done a great job in coverage. They've been breaking on passes. They've had their number, and that's why they're leading by as much as they are.
Going back to the well, another deep ball. He can't find his man, and the clock stops with 6 seconds left.
This is my favorite time to be a defensive lineman, man. You get up big, late in the game, you know it's past. You're just teeing off on the quarterback. The defensive backs, they're bailing, playing those deep passes. It is hard to play offensive football in this situation.
On 4th down, trying to find his man. They get to him as he throws. Makes the grab. They'll bring him down as he bulks up those numbers, but not the most important one as they'll come up short in this game. A strong, methodical, workmanlike effort from this team. No frills, just get the job done and get the win.
I love when you describe my teams like that. Just consistent, methodical, strong. I don't have to do things special every single week. All I'm supposed to do is get the W, and that's what they did.
And this is why practice is so important, guys. You can tell that this team was locked in way back earlier in the week. They watched the film. They got good looks in practice. They knew what to anticipate. They knew what looks they were going to see. And when those looks presented themselves, boy, oh boy, did they ever take advantage.
That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.